Hi, welcome to my Allotment UK. My name's Mike, and what have we been doing on the allotment last week? Well, to quote the late Paul Daniels, that famous magician, not a lot. It's not the rain that's caused the delay. I mean, this is the first time that I've never attended the plot lasting a full week, or should I say 6 days out of the 7 I haven't been to the plot. And it's not just because of the rain, because I have been jumping in and out between the showers. We've had some bright periods and then we've had some violent rain. In fact, on one day the rain was so heavy the road outside looked like a river, not a road. No, the reason why I've not been able to go to the plot is that my card, my pass card, that's this, that operates the electronic gates.
Can you open the gates for me, please? I've forgotten my card.
Broken. It's broken a few times and I've repaired it with sellotape, but this time the crack has gone right through the black piece at the back and I've had to have it replaced. And normally a replacement card takes, what, 4 days? But with coronavirus lockdown and the staff of the office staff of the electricity board working from home, and they send the new card to the council, who are also working from home, who then send the card to me, and it's taken well over a week to get to me. But I have been doing things. As I say, I spent 1 day on the plot, and what I did on that day I will show next week and add it to the hopefully 7 days I'll put in there. One essential job I did manage to get done was move the dog kennel. Now what I've been doing is that my good lady she's got some small trees which she wanted moving, and where they were moved to, she wanted to take out the Japanese anemones and plant that where the tree was removed from. And the rule in our garden is I do the heavy work. That's the moving of the pots and the heavy things, and basically the digging. I do the digging, and that went quite well.
I think you've done a lovely job there, love.
The other task I've been doing is, as you know, I made gates for my allotment, and I made them rather substantial, but the barrel bolts that's in the gates don't work very well because we suffer on this area with an anomaly called clay heave. What clay heave is that when you get a drought, like we've just had, a long drought, the clay shrinks, and then when you get incessant rain, like we've had, it swells, and it swells unevenly and it heaves. So one post might go up and another post will go down. But what happens, it stops the barrel going into the tube. So I've devised a catch which is all wood. The only metal on it are the screws which fasten it to the post, but everything about it is wood, and hopefully that will substitute for the barrel bolts. A lot of people have watched me making them and said, "What are you doing there, Mike?" And I say, "I'm making a catch for the gate." And well, I don't understand what you're doing. I mean, how's that going to work? But I finished it, and I've got to say, it does work. I mean, you can judge yourself whether it works. And when they've seen it fitted, the only comment I've had, well, I don't think that will last long, 10 minutes probably, but time will tell. So I've made this catch, and I'd like you to comment on it, because if there's making a catch was easy, the carpentry is easy. What takes the time is applying the yacht varnish, and you've got to apply 3 coats, and there's 12 hours between each coat, so there's 36 hours there, which is, you know, almost 2 days. So that's taken the time. So I've rushed this one. I've still got another one that's nearly finished, so if there's anything you didn't understand and I can make it clearer, comment and I'll change it and put it in the next video on there. But I hope you like it, and here we go, making a catch. So enjoy. Things better than this Heath Robinson affair. Marked out a circumference using a 50p piece, but a bottle top will do just as well. Marked the proposed length, ready for cutting out on the saw. Set up a stop block just to make sure I got them all exactly the same size. And for now, I'm just going to make 4. I cut out on the scroll saw the one that was marked to a shape, pricking out where the centre is with the brad awl, then pre-drilling with a narrow bit, which provides the guide for the 9mm flat bit. Pieces are stacked on each other, and we drill right the way through, drilling all of them. Here I'm putting in some random sized pegs into the holes that I've drilled, but in actual fact I should have done this later, as we'll see when I drill the screws. Glue is dried off. A damp cloth would be much better. Dowels were then left to dry and cure. The next day, fully cured, I clean off the excess glue, which is why I said earlier a damp cloth would have been much better, given a neater job. But there we go. Using my trusty thumb gauge, I mark out where the screws are going to be positioned. And this is why the pegs should have been put in at a later stage than they were, because you have difficulty in getting the drill in to bore the holes. And then we start the long process of giving the 3 coats every 12 hours of the yacht varnish. 36 hours later, they are now ready for the caps, which is while they're drying we will now start to make those. And I've made those from an old broom handle, and old broom handles are usually made of hickory, a good wood to use outside. And these potential caps are then drilled with a 9mm drill in the pillar drill. And when they are drilled, I take a short length of 9mm dowel and insert it in there into the end. And this is a bit like a lollipop stick. making it easy to handle when shaping on the sander. Hickory is a close grained wood, but it does create a lot of dust, so it's better to wear a mask, and if you've got a vacuum or an air extractor unit like I have, then it's best to position it close to where you're doing actual sanding. That's 3 down and another 3 to go. The last 3 all duly sanded and now ready to paint. Prior to varnishing, I'll pre-drill a strip of oak at either end to pre-drill them, ready to take onto the allotment to measure. Still haven't received my card yet, so I gained access by pressing the buzzer at the gate. First task on site is to take off the barrel bolt and screw on the new brackets so I can measure and get the slot into the right spot. People that were observing me couldn't really understand what I was doing here, and I just kept the cards close to my chest. Back home in the shed, I drilled the hole in the centre where the slot is positioned, and then scroll sewed it out, forming a clean edge, and then I cut the timber to length. The resulting arm is given a taper to make it more pleasing. My son keeps telling me, "Dad, your viewers are not interested in how you make your videos. They only want to see and watch you working, digging or hammering." But I say this, having the lightings helped me in making the video when it was overcast with dark clouds and raining. I videoed late in the evening, working in the shed, and coats of varnish were applied as late as 11 o'clock for it to be ready and dry next day. I used only one studio light in the shed. Here I've drilled a piece of scrap wood so that I can position the peg for gluing. It gives me more hand availability. Goes the cap and tap firmly into position and left to cure before cleaning off with a damp cloth or wet paper towel. Another peg is placed into that hole, and this acts as a rest with another peg in the hinge end to give some support, and we now wait 36 hours after the 3 coats of varnish have been applied. With the varnish hardened, we can now return to site, and I've got my own card this time, and I can screw the latch onto the fence post using the same holes that we used to mark out originally. And here it is, and we swing it over and the gate is duly latched. I'd love your comments, please. Well, I hope you enjoyed that and found it interesting. If you did like it, thumbs up would be nice, and if you've not already done so, please subscribe, but do comment, and to get further notifications of any uploads you have to ring that bell up there. So ring that bell, which leads me to say take care, look after yourself, hope to see you next week, and so bye.